When people hear about pesticide residues on fruits and vegetables, the reaction is often anxiety or a temptation to avoid certain produce altogether. That response is understandable, but it misses an important and more hopeful part of the picture. Fruits and vegetables remain among the most protective foods we can eat, consistently linked to lower risks of heart disease, cancer, type 2 diabetes, and cognitive decline. Even the produce that shows higher pesticide residues in monitoring reports still delivers far more health benefits than harm for the average person. A balanced, informed perspective helps consumers make smarter choices without drifting into fear or dietary restriction. Recent reports from government agencies and independent testing groups consistently show that certain fruits and vegetables tend to carry higher detectable pesticide residues. Strawberries, spinach, kale, apples, grapes, peaches, and bell peppers often rank near the top. These foods have thin skins, large surface areas, or growing conditions that make them more susceptible to pests, which explains why farmers rely more heavily on protective sprays. Importantly, higher residue does not mean unsafe. In most countries, over 90% of samples tested fall well below legally established safety limits, which already include wide safety margins designed to protect children, pregnant individuals, and other vulnerable groups. What often gets lost in headlines is that these safety thresholds are conservative by design. They are set far lower than levels shown to cause harm in animal studies, and regulators assume daily consumption over a lifetime. In real life, most people eat a wide variety of foods, which further dilutes exposure to any single pesticide. From a public health perspective, the risk of not eating enough fruits and vegetables is far greater than the risk posed by trace pesticide residues on commonly consumed produce. At the same time, acknowledging potential risks is still important. Some pesticides have been associated in observational studies with hormone disruption, neurological effects, or long-term environmental damage. While these links are often complex and not always causal, they justify continued monitoring, tighter regulations, and better agricultural practices. For consumers, awareness allows for simple, practical steps that significantly reduce exposure without sacrificing nutrition or enjoyment. One of the most effective handling practices is thorough washing under running water. Studies consistently show that rinsing produce for 20 to 30 seconds can remove a substantial portion of surface residues, dirt, and bacteria. Gently rubbing fruits like apples or cucumbers with your hands, or using a soft brush for firmer vegetables, improves removal even further. For leafy greens, separating leaves and washing them individually is particularly helpful. While vinegar or baking soda solutions can reduce certain residues slightly more, plain water already provides meaningful benefits and avoids unnecessary complexity. Peeling and trimming can also lower pesticide intake, though this comes with a trade-off. Many valuable nutrients, including fiber and antioxidants, are found in or just under the skin. For produce with consistently higher residues and thicker peels, such as apples or peaches, peeling may make sense for some people, especially young children. For leafy greens, removing outer leaves can reduce exposure while preserving most of the nutritional value. Buying organic versions of specific high-residue fruits and vegetables can be a reasonable strategy for those who can afford it, but it does not need to be all or nothing. Selective organic purchasing focuses resources where they may have the greatest impact, while still allowing flexibility. It is also worth noting that organic produce is not pesticide-free. It simply uses different, generally lower toxicity substances. From a health standpoint, the gap between organic and conventional produce is much smaller than the gap between eating plenty of produce and eating very little. There is also encouraging progress happening behind the scenes. Integrated pest management, precision agriculture, and improved crop breeding are steadily reducing pesticide reliance in many regions. Farmers are increasingly using targeted spraying, biological controls, and data-driven approaches that minimize chemical use while maintaining crop yields. Over time, these innovations are likely to lower residues even further without increasing food costs or reducing availability. The most positive takeaway from pesticide residue reports is not which foods to avoid, but how to eat with confidence and balance. Choosing a wide variety of fruits and vegetables, washing them properly, and staying informed allows people to enjoy the full protective power of plant-based foods with minimal risk. For most individuals, the healthiest choice remains clear: eat more fruits and vegetables, not fewer. When approached with knowledge rather than fear, even the most scrutinized produce can be part of a nourishing, safe, and enjoyable diet that supports long-term health and longevity.